to ensure that we have food security in this country, it is prudent and necessary that we take it as a moral issue so that we deal with it. We need to demonstrate to Kenyans that as a house, we can also stand with them. It is not political, this is a moral issue. I support. Thank you.
Order, honorable members. Members on their feet, take your seats. Order. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that pursuant to the provision of Article 152(6) of the Constitution and Standing Order 64(1)(a) and 66, this House resolves that the President dismisses the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi from the office of Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development on the following grounds. 1. Gross violation of the Constitution, violation of Articles 2 and 10(1)(c) of the Constitution. That the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting as the Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed gross violation of these constitutional provisions by 1. Not undertaking public participation with leaders, stakeholders, or even departments within the ministry in the implementation of far-reaching policy decisions on the procurement and distribution of fertilizer, therefore violating the provisions of the Constitution on national values and principles of good governance, insofar as he acted as a state officer to make and implement a public policy to approve the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to the recommendations of the National Cereals and Produce Board and agents in the ministry. And 2, approving procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board discloses a gross violation of national values and principles of good governance insofar as he acted as a state officer to make and implement a public policy to approve the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Articles 10(1)(b) of the Constitution. B. Gross violation of Article 46 of the Constitution, that 1. Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to be in gross violation of this constitutional provision by 1. Infringing on consumers' rights to goods and services of reasonable quality and to the protection of their health, safety, and economic interests by approving the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer, and 2. Approving the budgets for procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board, thereby violating consumers' rights to goods and services of reasonable quality and to the protection of their health, safety, and economic interests as he approved the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Article 46 of the Constitution. C. Gross violation of Article 73 of the Constitution, that the conduct of 1. Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as the Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to be a gross violation of this constitutional provision insofar as the public trust was exercised in a manner that is inconsistent with the purposes and objects of the Constitution. He failed to demonstrate respect for the people, failed to bring honor to the nation, dignity to the office, and failed to promote public confidence in the integrity of the office contrary to Article 73(1)(a), Roman 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Constitution. B. Gross violation of Article 201 of the Constitution, that 1. Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as a Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed a gross violation of this constitutional provision by approving the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board. This amounts to a gross violation of the principles on public finance insofar as public money is concerned and that public money was not applied in a prudent and responsible way when he approved the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Article 201(d) of the Constitution. E, gross violation of Article 232 of the Constitution, that the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed a gross violation of this constitutional provision, where he outlined in his written submission as a response to the fertilizer subsidy program to the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock, misleading information that the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, signed an agent's agreement with 51 Capital Africa Diatomite Industries on 31st March 2022 for supply and distribution of GPC diatomaceous for its commercial function, and that the product was not sold as a chemical fertilizer but as a soil conditioner, violating the values and principles of public service duty to use resource efficiently, effectively, and economically, contrary to Article 232 of the Constitution. 2, serious reasons for believing that the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under national law. A, serious reasons for believing the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under Section 100 and 101 of the Penal Code, Cap 63, that 1, Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as a Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, issued a directive of officials of KELS Chemicals to attend a press conference and issue a statement from the National Cereals and Produce Board. His subsequent closure of the factory and declaration of it as a crime scene due to the company's refusal to participate in the staged press conference discloses grounds that there are serious reasons for believing that the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under national law, including but not limited to offenses involving abuse of office and false claims by a person employed in the public service, contrary to Section 100 and 101 of the Penal Code, Cap 63. Order. B, serious reasons for believing the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under Section 353 and 355 of the Penal Code, Cap 63, that 1, Franklin Mithika Linturi, the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, is currently under investigation by the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Director of Criminal Investigations, and is facing arrest, charging, prosecution, and institution of criminal proceedings in relation to 6 pending civil, commercial, and family suits. This discloses grounds that there are serious reasons for believing that the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under national law, including but not limited to offenses involving uttering false documents and procuring execution of documents by false pretenses, contrary to Section 353 and 355 of the Penal Code, Cap 63. 3, gross misconduct, that 1, Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, by approving procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board, insofar as being a state officer, 1, has failed to exercise public trust in the best interest of the people of Kenya, and this amounts to gross misconduct, contrary to Section 8 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Cap 185C. 2, has failed in the performance of his duties to the best of his ability to carry out the duties of the office efficiently and honestly, and to carry out the duties in a transparent and accountable manner. This amounts to gross misconduct, contrary to Sections 10A and B of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Cap 185C. 3, has failed to demonstrate professionalism in carrying out duties of the office in a manner that maintains public confidence in the integrity of the office, and this amounts to gross misconduct, contrary to Section 11A of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Cap 185C. 4, misled the public by submitting false information to a departmental committee of the National Assembly that GPC diatomaceous was distributed as a soil conditioner and not as a fertilizer, and this amounts to gross misconduct, contrary to Section 29 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Cap 185C. Members who signed to the motion are 110, and their list is attached to the motion. Majority Leader. Who has a point of order? Owen Baye. What is the point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity to raise a point of orders in the matters that have been raised by the Honorable Wamboka. Honorable Speaker, I would like to start my point of order on Standing Order 89 of our standing orders. Honorable Speaker, if you go to the motion that has been presented ably by the Honorable Wamboka, if you look at page 14 to 16, Honorable Speaker, I will invite you to look at page 14 and 16 of the motion. Page 14 and 16 to of the motion presented, Honorable Speaker, you realize that it is contrary to Standing Order 89. Honorable Speaker, if you look 14 to 16, a lot of the cases that are being referred to are active cases in court, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, the sub judice rule kicks in. And therefore, I would invite you, Honorable Speaker, to look at that and declare that that aspect that is being referred to as not admissible in this motion, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, again, if you move again on the motion, Honorable Speaker, and you look at Standing Order 90, Standing Order 90, Honorable Speaker, the motion extensively relies on matters that are of personal relation to the member who signs as number 15 on the list. Honorable Speaker, interest should have been declared as under our standing order that the person, the member of parliament signing as number 15 should have, in this case, declared interest in this matter, because the cases referred extensively refers to personal relationship to the member. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I move that we amend the list, or you declare that the list presented to you, Honorable Speaker, be expunged totally, and therefore this motion falls on its face, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, Honorable Speaker, I would like to move an amendment to that, or you declare it as...
You stood on a point of order. Just prosecute your point of order.
I am prosecuting my points of order, the Honorable Speaker, and I require that you make a ruling on my point of orders. Okay. Honorable Speaker, under Standing Order 87, Honorable Speaker. Standing Order 87, 6. Except as the Speaker may otherwise allow, it shall be out of order for a member to refer to any extract from print or electronic media as an authority in a member's speech. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the motion as laid by my friend, the Honorable Kwamboka, and I will request that you make a ruling on this, Honorable Speaker. If you move from page 11, he refers to electronic. The whole thing is based on electronic print media. If you look at page 11, he refers to Citizen Digital. If you move again, he refers to nation.media. On page 12, on page 13, Honorable Speaker, he refers, and if you continue, Honorable Speaker, the whole motion is based on extracts from electronic and print media. Honorable Speaker, our standing order 6 does not allow that happens, and therefore this motion, Honorable Speaker, in my preliminary objection on this, Honorable Speaker, under our current standing orders, cannot stand the presence of for it to be tabled here. Honorable Speaker, I would Honorable Speaker, if I may, I want to catch the Speaker's ear.
Yes, Owen.
Yes.
Can you finish your point?
I'm finishing on, I want to refer you again to Standing Order 87, Honorable Speaker. That some of the acts, Honorable Speaker, that are being alleged to have been committed by the Honorable Cs Linturi refer to matters that were before he became a cabinet secretary. Matters which were dealt with conclusively at the point when this parliament vetted the Honorable Cs Linturi. And therefore, our standing orders say that if you look at 87, Honorable Speaker, if a matter has been discussed and dispensed with during a session of Parliament, for which this session refers to, Honorable Speaker, it cannot again be referred to during the same session. And Honorable Speaker, the cases that are referred to here were dealt with. They happened before the Cabinet Secretary was appointed Cabinet Secretary. And again, these matters are being reintroduced in the House. Unless with your express permission, these matters can be introduced. But as it stands now, Honorable Speaker, the motion as presented